in the building.
All right. Thanks for allowing me to be here. I appreciate it.
I mean, listen, I'm looking over there. I see a whole lot of rings. I know you want to flex on it, UD.
A little something. I ain't bring the other ones, but
okay, one is enough.
This is the most important one. I tell you that. This is the one to keep the lights on right here for sure.
For sure. Now, Dwyane, you had an front row seat to an epic game in the second one of our doubleheader. What stuck out to you in the Spurs Thunder matchup?
Well, first of all, the energy in the building. Mm-hmm. Like, I know a lot of people had a lot of questions coming in about the NBA Cup, not knowing what it is, what it was, all that. I think everybody now knows and they understand what it is. The fan base in here was incredible. So that was first and foremost. But just being able to sit there and watch both teams compete the way they was competing, man, like, this is where you want to be. This is what the kind of style you want to watch. Teams that's really trying to take these steps and not taking anything for granted. And so it was incredible when Wemby came in the game, just watching the way he changed the confidence of his teammates. Like, that right there was everything. You know, just watching guys go from one level to the next.
D-Wade, what would your message to these young guards on San Antonio be? You were a young guard in the league when you had to take that like leap to like very quickly become elite and very quickly become a guy that leads to a championship. What do you say to these young guards, or like how you take advantage of that situation?
Looking at tonight, look like they got it. I don't think they need no advice from an old guy. But, you know, just getting the opportunity to talk to them, you know, I think that's the most important thing. I was talking to Castle and just seeing like just how committed they are to the process. And I think that's the biggest thing. We all know, we all sitting over here and we remember our career starting. And so it's really just taking advantage of the journey, the everyday. Don't get bored with the process at all. Don't forecast too far out. Stay present, stay in the moment. It seemed like that's what those guys are doing.
Yeah. Don't forecast too far out, but do you see these two teams, San Antonio and OKC, as a potential rivalry for years to come?
Oh, well, we gonna forecast far out. That's our job. I think they do. And more importantly than anything, the thing I got from them is San Antonio is sitting there like, no, we're serious and we know we for real. And so they walk around with that confidence that's on their chest. And so this is definitely a forecast. You know, some other teams obviously right now in the league that, you know, will be competing for the Western Conference Finals, but we will not be surprised if both these teams at a very young age is in the Western Conference Finals.
100%.
We talked about the matchups that we are going to have our eye on when the Knicks take on the Spurs. What sticks out?
Well, I mean, first of all, the Knicks, I love the way they're playing. I think they're taking on the personality of their coach. Mike Brown is an incredible human being. But the way that he, even in conversation, the way that he was sharing the ball, he was talking about his coaches. He was talking about his trainers. He was talking about everybody but himself. And now you watch the Knicks team that has been playing together for a while. They've learned how to win together. They've taken losses together, and you're watching them now trust each other a little bit more. And so just the confidence that they have, you can watch it out there, the way that ball is moving, the way they're communicating, talking on the defensive end of the floor. I think they take on the personality of their coach.
What do you think about the matchups? Who's Brunson going to be on? What do you see for Tuesday? I mean, the Spurs going to be probably favored now heading into Tuesday. What do you see?
Yeah, you got to do how you did me. Put me on the guy in the corner, baby. Hey, you got a guy scoring 40, put him on the guy in the corner. I mean, obviously, I heard you guys talking about it, and Barnes is probably the obvious choice for him to start the game. And then from there, you kind of see how the lineups go. But, like, you know, he's a guy who's running a lot of pick and rolls on the end. He's keeping pressure on the defense. He's getting in the paint, making sure everybody else eats as well. And so you got to protect him as much as possible. And so, yeah, starting him on Barnes, I think is probably the obvious choice. And then from there, you get other guys. That's probably shooters, but Vessel, he moves around a lot and he can get his shot off versus anybody. So it's going to be hard for Brunson, who is not as tall, to be able to affect him at all on his shot.
Who would you put on Wemby? Like, you start OG, but non-OG minutes. If Wemby's in the game, who guards Wemby?
I think no, I mean, OG minutes, but if OG's not in the game, then you got to give some cat minutes there. I don't think you can go Mitchell Robinson minutes.
No.
You got to give some cat minutes there. I think you go some Josh Hart minutes. When you get a guy like Josh Hart who can get up under you at that elbow and try to push you out a little bit and make it a little frustrating, do it like Caruso did a little bit, even though he cooked Caruso over here and let him know about it.
That's what you want.
We understand what you want to try to do. You want him to make a tip two and he boss out his hand and still shoot it and make it. You want him to have to make those shots. But question to you is, I watched these two games. It's contrasting styles. I see a young athletic team that can get up and down, that can get in the paint. I see a Knicks team, even though they're driven by their guard, It's the physicality that makes the Knicks stand out against everybody. So in a 48-minute game, do you think that young, explosive team will be able to withstand the physicality, the offensive rebounding, the pounding, Jalen Brunson getting in the paint, and one foul, slowing the game down when they want to get up? Do you think that'll mess with their mental and their psyche going over a 48-minute game, and will they be able to withstand that physicality?
Well, I mean, you want to hope that they can withstand it, but, also, too, that's why they're here. This is the test. That's why the Cup is so great. You're able to get these tests early in the season. So, one, we will be a witness to it, but, watching this game right here, I don't even know who's going to come out and play on the next game. So many people feel like they left that they could have left with injuries, but, I think San Antonio is up for the challenge. When you sit and talk to those young guys, they're not afraid of anything. But, the Knicks is going to challenge them. And so it's going to be great to see which style obviously wins out. But I like the Knicks. I like their chances when it comes to the competition and getting into the fight. They're not afraid of it. And Orlando punched them in the mouth early on, and they came back and they responded. And that's what you want to see with your team. Can they respond to the fight? And they did. So it's going to be tough for San Antonio, but San Antonio is really, really good.
Yes.
D Wade, we got some more for you. Stick around. I know you're busy. You good with that?
I'm good.
All right, come on.
You hang out with your boy.
Hang out
with your boy.
Yeah.
All right, the countdown is on to the NBA Cup final. Wemby is hype as he should be. It is the Spurs against the Knicks on Tuesday. Coverage starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Prime.
Take questions for Victor. First question over here, Tom. Fourth seat in on front.
Victor, just your thoughts on coming off the bench and not playing in the first quarter and the strategy that Mitch employed, spreading your minutes out where you had more in the fourth.
So my thoughts before the game were that in this kind of game, you just have to make things happen, no matter the conditions. And this is just a slight detail. I can do just all right with 3 quarters, so I didn't even have to ask myself this question. And looking back, I think it was the good formula. We used it was a good system to do it like this, and I just try to make the most out of it.
Mike.
Victor, Mitch had mentioned, in one way of looking at it was this was the worst case scenario for you to come back because you're jumping into such an intense situation. But it turned out that you actually looked like you were enjoying that. Are you glad that you were able to do this in this situation?
Of course, I am. I feel very lucky because it's just this kind of situations where I know I can trust my inner self, to get in that zone, to just make the right thing. So it's really not a worry on my side.
Back right.
Bonsoir Victor.
Salut.
On a vu pas mal de chambrage, un peu de trash talk gentil, un petit peu de dirt ce soir. C'était l'envie après un mois sans basket ou comme l'enjeu de la compétition? Qu'est-ce qui a entraîné cet aspect du...
De dirt, je dirais pas quand même, mais ouais, évidemment, c'est l'enjeu du match. Moi, je suis plein d'énergie, je suis juste une boule d'énergie, je pouvais pas m'arrêter avant le match. Donc ouais, effectivement, il faut que ça sorte d'une manière ou d'une autre. Et si ça peut faire mal aux adversaires en plus, je suis preneur.
On your left, Michael.
Now that you guys are whole again, what are your thoughts about sort of what you can be here in the future in these coming games?
I think it's our first time playing everybody. My thoughts are just that, we're already a solid team, already more than 20 games ago. It's just experience. We're just figuring it out. And the difference with us and this team, who's, I don't know, what are they, 24-2, is that we haven't had this many reps recognizing what it takes and enjoying what it takes to win. And this is our next step, because this OKC team, they're not just first in the league, they're way ahead of everybody. And because when you watch them, no matter who, whether it's the 12th man or the starting 5, whether they're playing against the 15th seed or in any kind of game, they're playing the same way. They're enjoying the little things that make them win, and this is the next step we have to pass.
Kelly up front.
Hey, Victor, it seemed like the second quarter for you was very intentional in terms of defensively, just paying attention to trying to eliminate everything that the Thunder were trying to do. Obviously, you are a generational defensive player, but why was that quarter for you so important, even without scoring the basketball?
Second quarter?
Yes.
Because it's my first quarter in I don't know how many weeks. So if I hadn't been intentional, I would have been really asking myself questions. So I had to do that.
Victor, next year this game would have been played in Oklahoma City with the change in the format. The semifinals aren't going to be at a neutral site anymore.
Really?
So I'm just curious what your thoughts are, like if this game had been in Oklahoma City and what that would have been like compared to this.
In the same conditions, it would have been just the same. It was so much going into that game, especially for me, being my first game in a while. So it's hard to answer, but I guess the crowd would have been on the opposite side because it felt like they was rooting for us today. But so that's just one letter factor.
And after missing so much time, to be out there in the fourth quarter like you were, to be able to close the game out the way you were against, obviously, a guy in Chet you've played against, and against a team like you said you guys are chasing, how much fun was it to be back in the mix again after having to wait the last few weeks to play?
Well, you can't imagine. It's just incredible. Because I've seen these guys for the last 12 games just get better, do some beautiful things. And I just wanted to be a part of it, and I'm glad that we can still do it. When I'm here, I have no doubt, of course, but I'm just glad to be a part of something that's growing to be so beautiful and so pure and ethical basketball,
On your right, Tim.
Victor, first few minutes of the third quarter, you guys were playing well, and the bench was into it at a level that you typically don't see in a regular season game. They missed front end of a free throw. The final minutes, you grabbed the rebound, screamed, and again, not typical for a regular season. I know you can't quantify with a number, but how much more did this one mean than just a regular game?
Oh yeah, this is not a typical regular season game. Tuesday. Because we know if we lose, we're out. And some people are built for these moments, some aren't, but we definitely are, and it shows because it's not against anybody that we won that game. So it's just, again, I feel lucky. I'm glad we have this group because everybody buys into this and everybody is built for these moments.
Third row on your left.
Victor, félicitations. Qu'est-ce que ça représenterait une victoire mardi? Est-ce que tu verrais ça comme un accomplissement en tant que tel ou est-ce que c'est encore tôt et c'est une préparation pour les playoffs en gros?
Je vois ça comme un accomplissement, évidemment, mais pas du tout du niveau des playoffs. Mais c'est des matchs qui ont du sens, qui ont de l'enjeu. Et ça a plus d'enjeu qu'un match de saison régulière, c'est sûr. C'est différent, c'est pas vraiment explicable parce que c'est pour ça qu'on joue et on recherche tout le temps ces moments-là. Et donc on va pas faire de marche arrière face à ce qui nous attend. C'est mardi, c'est ça?
Justement pour mardi, juste la perspective de retrouver pas mal de Français, il y a Bouzélé, les Knicks et les autres. Est-ce que ça a une saveur particulière?
J'y avais pas réfléchi, mais ouais, c'est sûr que ça va être cool de les voir, de leur parler un peu. C'est que des gars que je connais depuis longtemps, donc c'est aussi beaucoup de fierté de les voir ici.
Go ahead, Mike.
Are you going to shift your focus to the Sixth Man of the Year award? Are you looking forward to coming off the bench?
I have had this thought. I'm not gonna lie. But am I still eligible if I'm...
I think you could be.
I am? Yeah? Okay. We'll think about it then. Can you be a six-man MVP? I guess there's no...
Maybe. We'll check with the NBA. But when did you get tired today, Vic? Was there a moment when you did hit that wall?
Yeah, of course, but my baseline is so much better than it's been at any time in my life before that even the tired today was the normal of before, so... And it's just my first game back, so it's only going to get better. Of course, it's up and downs all the time, but I don't remember when, but I did get a little wind out at some point.
Third row in the center.
Victor, have you heard the name, the Slash Brothers, regarding your teammates? And just talk a little bit about what you saw out of them and their ability to penetrate the paint, and not only that, finish incredibly well against the OKC defense.
I mean, that's just an ability that's so useful in this league, and even more useful when you got shooters around it. So it's two very young guys that are already able to do that. So they're going to be huge problems. It's having Dylan and Steph, and even De'Aaron, of course, the ability they have to get downhill, it makes the whole defense shift their focus. So it just opens up things for everybody.
Standing in back left.
I think obviously wins and losses obviously what matter a lot, but what are you learning about just the process that it takes to get to those wins and losses and learning and growing throughout those over the year?
It's hard. It's hard, but, I think we're on the right path. And for the first time in my career, not the case of everybody in our group, for the first time in my career, we're winning much more than we're losing. So it's a lot of pleasure because it doesn't feel normal when we lose, but it unfortunately is things we have to go through. And we'll go through it again in the future if we need to, but we're winning much more than we're losing right now. So we're all where we like to be. We're all where we want to be.
Got last question, back right.
Victor, coming back and having such a big impact on your team, does this change your confidence after the injury and everything?
I've never really felt a lack of confidence in anything, whether it's my movement or just mentally. So it's my confidence has been up there, is still up there. I know I'm taking care of my body like nobody else, so I have really no reason to worry. I don't think there's any more things I could do to put myself in a better place, so my confidence is up there as well.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.